Hey everyone, you're listening to Ankur Warikoo on Woice with Warikoo. On this podcast, I talk to you about entrepreneurship, how to grow in life, manage personal finances, handle failures, and a lot more things that just come to my mind. The episode begins. Every Friday, I conduct this live for an hour on Instagram. It happens from 10 to 11 p.m. This is not a promotion for that, but you know what? It is a promotion for that. So in case you're free, any Friday at 10 p.m., do consider just joining me on Instagram. And here's why it's fun, at least for me. What I basically do is I just randomly invite people. I will go through a list of people who have sent in a request to come live with me, and I will just pick a boy and a girl and a boy and a girl and a boy and a girl in that order and have a conversation. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea who I am inviting. I do not, by design, invite people that I know of already. So this is as random as it gets. And here's the interesting part. I don't know how, but most people that I end up talking to lie in either of these two buckets. Bucket one is what I call achievers. These are people who are extraordinary. People who at a very young age mostly have done so much in life that I cannot even fathom. So I remember speaking to this 18-year-old girl who is a national sports level player. She's also top of her class. She's written 2 books. She loves painting. She loves singing. I'm like, is there anything that you can't do? And she was so confident for her years. She was so wise for her years that I was like, my God, look at her. It's incredible. I have had people who at the age of 14, 15, are so self-aware, so well put together that it is incredible for their age. And then there is this other bucket, people who are completely clueless. And that's frankly okay, because most of us are clueless for most of our lives, but they have given up on themselves. They believe that they can't make it anymore. I've had people who almost broke down, but yet not broke down. Just going through the life story, going through the multiple attempts that they've made at entrance examinations, going through the multiple attempts they've made at getting a good job, and none of them worked out. And they're in this moment where I can sense very vividly that they've lost hope. And when you look at these 2 segments, one of the extraordinary and one who believes that they are mediocre, that they are losers, I often ask myself, at what point of time did we make the ordinary so embarrassing? Why is it so not cool to be ordinary? Why is it suddenly not okay to be ordinary? Why is it that we are raising our children to constantly either feel like they're extraordinary and in the event that they don't, feel like a loser? When did we lose this middle ground of just being okay with being ordinary? Because life, frankly, has no purpose attached to it. At least that's what I believe. I don't think life has any purpose attached to it. And we are born, we'll die, and it'll be about 1 to 2 years before most people will forget about us once we're gone. And at best, 10 to 20 years before almost everyone who knows of us would have gone as well. And that's it. We're gone. Gone into oblivion. Spent 80, 90 years on a planet that has had close to 4 to 5 billion years of existence. We are nothing. And yet, we will fixate and we will agonize over become extraordinary. And then feeling like a loser if we don't. And I remember this beautiful phrase or poem, or I don't even know what to call it. Let's say call it a chapter from a book. And the chapter name was Make the Ordinary Come Alive. And I want to read this to all of you because I felt that this was such powerful writing. And such a thoughtful expression of what I think should be true. Do not ask your children to strive for extraordinary lives. Such striving may seem admirable, but it is a way of foolishness. Help them instead to find the wonder and the marvel of an ordinary life. Show them the joy of tasting tomatoes, apples, and pears. Show them how to cry when pets and people die. Show them the infinite pleasure in the touch of a hand, and make the ordinary come alive for them. The extraordinary will take care of itself. I love it. I love this thought that make the ordinary come alive for them. And that's what Ruchi and I try to do in our role as parent. We love Vidur and Uzma to be as ordinary as it can be, to play with the mud, to dance in the rain, to fall down, get hurt, cry, to do silly, stupid things that most parents would not want their kids to do, because we want them to experience what the ordinary life is. We want them to experience what the joy of eating with your hands is, of plucking a fruit from the tree is, of stealing something from somebody just for the heck of it is, of crying and laughing, of feeling the emotions of growing up, feeling the sense of vacuum when somebody leaves you, facing death and also experiencing birth. All of that makes it wonderfully ordinary, and yet, in some way, extraordinary. Because the extraordinary will take care of itself. And I would love for you to just enjoy life the way that we used to when we were kids, when things were just ordinary, and yet we were so happy. Thank you for listening to this episode of Woice with Warikoo. To be notified of upcoming episodes, be sure to subscribe and follow the show on this app right now. Also, don't forget to rate and review the show because that just feels nice. Thank you.